Hello, friends. This is Dave Hurwitz, executive editor at ClassicsToday.com, here with the greatest recordings ever. And today, we're talking about the Verdi Requiem. I mean, there are several greatest recordings ever of the Verdi Requiem, and I want to stress that because I know that whatever greatest recording ever I vomit. No, I display. There we go. That sounds better, doesn't it? Whatever recording I offer for your consideration, I'm going to get all these people say, oh, I love this one. I love that one. I love this one. Well, you're probably right. There are many others that are very, very good. It's an incredibly popular work, and it has received many absolutely stupendous performances by some of the greatest conductors out there. So, yeah. I mean, we did do a repertoire video if you're curious about that, and feel free to take a look. But for this greatest recordings ever solo stint, I have selected, yes, Robert Shaw with the Atlanta Symphony Orchestra and Chorus. Now, you're going to say, oh, the Atlanta Symphony Orchestra and Chorus. Whoa, my goodness, you're so American. Well, look, Robert Shaw was one of the greatest choral directors of the 20th century, maybe the greatest, possibly, in the romantic choral tradition. And he trained amazing ensembles of singers, most especially, I might point out, his long association with Toscanini, whose Verdi Requiem performances he prepared, or at least some of them. He was the choral director of the Cleveland Orchestra Chorus under George Szell for that amazing Beethoven Missa Solemnis. I mean, he knew his stuff. He really, really knew his stuff, and he worked with the best, and he absorbed a lot of what they did. Now, Shaw himself, as a conductor, was vastly less interesting than Toscanini. I'm not making any claims there. Or Szell, for that matter. He tended to focus on the vocal line at the expense of the orchestral bits, and many of his chorus and orchestra recordings in Atlanta on Telarc, this same label, were rather dull. I freely confess, including things like Mahler 8, the Berlioz Requiem, things that just should have had far more oomph than he gave them. However, there's always a however. For this Verdi Requiem, he rose to the occasion. I mean, this is really a Toscanini-style performance in really great sound. I mean, really great sound. And it's thrilling. It's thrilling from beginning to end. It's amazingly well sung, but it's also very excitingly conducted and beautifully conducted, exquisitely balanced between chorus and orchestra. I will say, look at the stickers. Remember stickers? On physical product, it's won a Grammy. Now, that means absolutely nothing. The reason anything wins a Grammy in the classical division is because, well, at the time this was done, is because they had block voting. In other words, anybody who was a member of NARAS could vote for anything. And so all the Atlanta or East Coast people would vote for a certain recording that everyone told them to vote for, whether they knew it or heard it or cared about it or not. That's how Schulte won all those Grammys, because of the Chicago, the Midwestern division of NARAS. And that's why there were all these Atlanta Grammys as well for Telarc. So it was artistically completely meaningless, worthless. But they do also have a 2-for-1 pricing sticker, which is a not inconsiderable bonus. I mean, it was anyway in the days of physical product. So, when I was doing, when we started ClassicsToday.com originally, when they still had record stores, we had a newsletter that we would send to record shops, and we had end cap displays and 1010 stickers that people could put on their LPs. We sent them to labels, and we sent them to record stores. And, it was a promotional thing that actually worked, and we made quite a bit of money doing that. But unfortunately, that's all gone. Totally gone. It's amazing how things have changed. But this was recorded in, let's get a date here, shall we? If they let us have a date. Yes, there it is, 1987. And, Shaw had his moments. He had his strengths. And here he is playing to strength. He also has a very, very fine bunch of soloists. I mean, Susan Dunn, soprano, she's excellent. Diane Curry, mezzo, they're beautiful in the Agnus Dei. Jerry Hadley, who's a young, fresh-sounding tenor. He's not, an Italian Franco Corelli type, but he sings beautifully. And Paul Plishka, who is a trooper, a bass who was a mainstay of the Met and other places. He was like he did like the High Priest or Amonasro or whatever it was, and Aida, and yeah, he knows this. He was to the manner born. His Morse stupebit is quite stupefying. So yeah, you've got really, really good soloists. You've got a Dies Irae that'll knock your socks off. You've got beautiful, beautiful moments. The Sanctus dances, it's beautiful. The more lyrical moments, the Lacrimosa is just sobbing and beautifully, beautifully emotional. It's a wonderful performance, absolutely first class, and you will never hear it better sung. The choral singing is incredible. Beautifully balanced, rich top to bottom, and it's a wall of sound coming at you that matches a very well characterized rendition of the orchestral part. So, without question, one of the greatest recordings ever! Keep on listening, friends. Thanks for joining me. Take care.